Hey CTR, this is Sensa again. We're back doing the next part of the video. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the things I use to kind of get everything started. The first one is right here is the Weber lighter cubes. This is what I use to light my charcoal when I'm getting ready to do my cook. It makes it really easy to kind of get your smoke or your charcoal up the temp. I also use one of those little charcoal chimneys there, and this with that little wax cube makes lighting your charcoal super easy and actually really fast. The other part is kind of what wood to use, and there's really two different types. There's the block wood, which is here, and then there's the chip wood, which is here, and they're quite different really in how you use them and kind of what you get from the effect of them. The chips are great for if you're gonna do maybe smokes or maybe some steaks on the grill. Soak a bunch of chips in some water for an hour or so, and then put them on your grill or in a bag or in a little tinfoil pouch with some holes poked into it, and they'll smolder, make a nice smoke, and give you a nice little smoke flavor for some meat, some pork chops, whatever you want to do, but on your regular charcoal grill. The chunks there are for more kind of hotter cooks as well as longer cooks. In this case, we don't have to do anything with those as far as like putting them in water or anything like that. Essentially, once you have your charcoal up and running, just throw a couple of those chunks in there, and they'll smolder, and you'll get a nice little smoke kind of finish to your meat. Also, one of the key things that I learned over time is never over smoke your meat. A lot of people like to see the smoke. But at some point you can really kind of have too much, and then your meat will have a bit of a bitter taste to it. So you want to be fairly liberal with it, maybe 2 or 3 chunks at the most. As far as the type of wood you can use, it's really kind of up to you. Each wood has a little bit of a different flavor profile. I prefer kind of the fruit wood, so like grape wood, apple wood. I also like hickory, and pecan is actually pretty good too. And I get my wood from my local hardware store that sells most of my grill products, you know, works pretty well. But that's kind of a short video on kind of some of the things I'm using. As far as the cook status, we're still moving along. We're at 225, pretty much locked in now for the rest of the time. We're about an hour and a half, well, about an hour into our 3-hour segment of our cook, and we're doing a 3-2-1 method for ribs. 3 hours. 3-2-1 is really simple. It's just 3 hours on the smoke or on the heat, so they're exposed to the grill. They're not wrapped up. After the 3 hours is finished, then what we'll do is we'll take each of the racks, we'll put them in tin foil with some apple juice, as well as I'll probably coat the tops of them with some brown sugar, as well as a little bit of extra rub, and then seal all of that up into these little foil pouches for each of the racks. And then they'll be in the racks for 2 hours, so that's the 2-hour segment. So 3 hours on the smoke, 2 hours in the foil, and then the last is which is 1 hour then kind of on the sauce. And what we mean by that is, what we'll do is we'll take them out of the foil, see how they look, and then put them on the grill with some sauce over top of them, and let the sauce kind of rebind all of the ribs together. Now, depending on your temperature and how well you kind of keep your temperature, you may not need to do that last hour for a full hour. So what I usually do is the 2 hour in the foil, I'll check them at about an hour and a half. And if they feel like they're starting to kind of come apart, and it's really easy to tell when the meat pulls back in the bone, and hopefully we'll show you that, then you can really move on to the next phase without really having to worry about you know, your ribs being under. They will not be underdone if you follow the 3-2-1 method. They'll actually be pretty darn good, and it's an easy way to do it. If you're using 3-2-1 on your gas grill, it's possible to do that as well. You really have to kind of watch your temperature, but if you generally follow those rules, you'll probably come out with some pretty decent ribs. But as far as on a smoker, it's pretty much a no-brainer. We'll show you that when we get to that point, but that's kind of our status. So we'll come back at you in a little while with the next segment of the video. Thank you.